Long time no see.
I know, you're in like a whole different room, Cassie.
This is my roommate's desk. That's why
Oh,
this divider is here. We share an office.
oh wow, how does that work?
Great, she's never home.
Oh, fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
Your hair is so long.
Yeah, really long. I kind of want to get it cut. It's a little
No,
too
I love it. Oh my
It's a-
God.
it's a little too glamorous for the types of things I go out for
Is
acting.
it
So I'm a little
really?
yeah, so I'm a little bit like, huh.
Oh my God, you look so beautiful.
Thank
Gorgeous.
you.
You came on, but it's not the kind of parts you get cast for.
Yeah, no, not really.
You have to downplay your looks for that? That sucks.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, hi,
That's
how are you guys?
Good, really good. How are you?
Pretty good. I'm shooting in the, kitchen area because of course construction is still happening. So
What is up with that wallpaper?
peacocks. Peacocks.
That is
Yeah.
so retro. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
Mhm.
All right. So what are we doing?
We're just chatting like, hi. We did it. We're at this is our 50th episode.
Whoa.
Does it feel like 50?
Uh-uh.
Do you usually tune into the Facebook lives when you have time, or do you try to catch a podcast, or you probably don't have a lot of time?
I don't have a ton of time, but I
Uh-huh.
catch a little bit of everything, clips here and there. And now I've been spending more time on listening to making sure I hear every group coaching call so that I can learn how to be a better coach.
Am I good? Like, is that working?
Yeah,
Oh, good.
of course.
Just checking. Because I want you to be able to coach them so they can have major breakthroughs and
Right.
really have some peak experiences on those coaching calls. Yeah. Feeling like people are out to get me this week. So that's
It's been a rough week.
What? Why?
Oh, it's been a week. Yeah, just, it really hasn't been that bad, but
Sorry.
that's okay. It's okay. I mean, things happen. I'm not attached to it. That is such a luxury not to have to care, like not to have to be worried or holding on. I think it's more disturbing, to be very honest, to see, that kind of behavior from people. That's what's really disturbing. That, people who are so, when we behave out of immaturity and self-righteousness and all, it's such bullshit to put that, other people get targeted with that energy. That's what's sad about it.
This sounds like a rough week.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did want people to sort of like get a sense for Cassie too, because in a way, some people know that she's doing coaching calls too, right? But just that, this is sort of like your team, your smaller version of your team. I know you have many people who are working for you.
Yeah, no, this is so cool that we can get together and hang out like this. This is great. I'm so glad that you suggested it, Kari Lee.
I think the podcast is doing well. And I think it sounds like you've gotten like a lot of pretty good feedback and stuff. Yeah.
It has been incredible. Incredible. I don't know if we've reached a broad audience. The feedback that I've been getting has been extraordinary. I'm reaching my target audience, which is really, evolved women who have done a lot of work on themselves, and they want love. They want to find their Tad, their Benjamin.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it's been amazing. They're accomplished women, they're educated. This is like the creme de la creme, of women who really are.
I love hearing it.
Yeah, they're hearing my message and they're totally clicking with it. And these are the women I want to reach. So it's extraordinary. It's extraordinary.
really-
And I've been saying this, Cassie, you've seen a huge, up like the quality of the women that are coming into the course, right? I mean, you're coaching them.
Yeah.
So they're
I mean,
getting,
they're incredible. They're brilliant. I mean, when they say, wow, this was a great session, I think like you're complimenting me, like you're amazing. Yeah. And when Lisa does, I feel like every day on the chat, Lisa's like, I just enrolled another one. She's amazing. I just enrolled another one. She's amazing. Like,
Yeah, Lisa chatted the other day. She's like, I just enrolled a scientist. And I was like, what? Like,
Kari Lee, so many scientists,
brilliant
What?
women.
brilliant women.
Yeah.
I love that.
New York
woman who-
City, Vancouver, Toronto. I mean,
43-year-old woman who just sold her business in tech to a big company who's doing cutting edge work in AI. Oh my God, what a wonderful life. And for her to be able to bring an extraordinary partner into her life, my God.
That's going to be really exciting to hear how that unfolds for her.
And I just have a client right now who I don't, there's some women who I think are so lovely who I work with, they're lovely. And I really choose that word, what is lovely, right? And I choose that word because there is a loveliness about them. And you just know that they're going to find some really hot, great guy. I mean, they're just, and she's a doctor and she just I think she met her guy. And she wrote me the most beautiful letter she's a medical doctor. And she said, Lisa, my entire life changed in your course.
Aww.
She said, you helped me get out of a terrible hospital where I was working in my job. I was miserable. The other women there were mean. And then she said, you got me out of there. I moved back to Boston. I started my own business. And your course, everything I did with you helped me. I came to you to find love, but you helped me do all of this. And then she started her business and she went back to dating. She said, Lisa, I followed every single thing you told me to do exactly the way you told me to do it. And I met my boyfriend. She said, I have a boyfriend. It's beautiful.
I love that.
She described the relationship. He's kind, he's handsome, he's generous. And she said, and I was sitting there watching him talk the other day. And I thought to myself, oh my God, he is so masculine. She said it's just so cool. So I don't know.
I love hearing these stories because I'm sort of like in my own world doing podcast stuff. We'll go days without even like chatting, any of us. We're just sort of like quick notes to each other, like, did this get done? Did this get done? Or I have this idea for this or whatever, but we don't really get to like hang out or talk.
I know. It's funny. It's really funny. It's something that I really do need to look at in my business, is creating more connection among my team, like my whole team. And because I entered into my business so backwards.
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I'm a coach. I mean, I had to become a businesswoman so that I could reach more people, right? I've had to do this so that I could grow myself, but I never wanted to be a businesswoman. Like, don't think for a second I'm doing that because I want to be a businesswoman. I mean, I think that would be, if I were going to have my audience know something about me, I would want anybody who comes to me to work with me, I would want them to know, like, I'm a coach. I am a love coach. I love helping women transform this part of their lives. And anything they might see me doing in terms of my business, that's the way I have to be to reach an audience, but you know, it's not about the business stuff for me.
Oh, I think that's I think that's
Yeah,
cool.
that probably hits the nail on the head as to what makes you so different. Because I think there are a lot of love and dating coaches out there. And you know how many women you've had come to you that have tried other dating coaches. And if they're business first, like they think this is a great business idea, a business model, but their passion isn't actually in ensuring that the women change from the inside and find love, then the women are never going to reach that goal. But for you, it's coaching first.
It is some of that. And some, you know, some coaches are really brilliant coaches and they love the business part of, you know, part of it. And they want to build big institutes where they can help lots of people, you know.
But that's not you.
No, in fact, I mean, this is something really for people to understand. I can only work with so many people. I don't have a huge business. Like, I don't have a huge business. I cannot handle tons and tons and tons of clients. I don't want to handle tons of clients. I don't want, you know, it's not about that. I want to work with some really sensational women and help them change their lives. And I also want to make a great income, you know, because that's fun. I've worked long and hard in this part of my life, and I want to also give myself the gift of having a wonderful income. You know, I want that for myself. I think that that's really a beautiful gift to ask, you know, women to pay me well for the work I do and for my time, but also to give them something extraordinary in return.
It's funny. It's like the way you sort of even like choose your clients. It's a little bit like dating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you're dating around.
Yeah. My calls feel like dates. When people do a breakthrough call with me, it does feel like a date. Truly. And the truth is, honestly, Kari Lee, I can't help everybody. And I don't even want to try to help everybody. So I am getting, you know, I get better and better and better at assessing when a woman calls, is this a woman I know I can help? Does she fit my criteria? And because I've been doing this a long time now, right? I know I know who I can help. And I want to help people that I really want to work with, like who I really vibe with. So I'm checking out my clients. There's no amount of money anyone can pay me to work with me. No, nothing. Like, I will not take on a client if I don't know I can help her and if I don't feel a real connection. Yeah, but you want to know the coolest thing about it? I can reach my audience and it doesn't have to be huge. But the real thing is for me to dial things in and connect with the people I want to connect with. And I don't have to cast a wide net to do that. I think I can do that. You know, it's the same way Benjamin writes profiles, right, Cassie? He has a way, he casts a very specific net, you know, and he knows the net he's casting, but he's weeding out a lot of people and he's trying to just bring the right people in. And that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do with my advertising, with my podcast, with all of this. You know, I want to speak to my audience. I think I'm learning. I'm really grasping for the first time what that means.
What does that mean?
Speaking to my audience. And that's one of the problems. You know, we don't know who our audience is. It's kind of like dating. We don't know who we're looking for, right? And so we're dating this guy or that guy, or maybe I should give this guy a try or that guy a try, because we really don't know what we're looking for. And with this, I mean, if I really just do speak to my audience, the people who really get what I'm saying are going to hear it and come. And that's what I'm learning.
And even if people can't necessarily afford to take your course, they can still learn a lot from like all of your videos and your podcast and things like that. So I think that's another way to reach people at the level of where they're at, you know, because they might not be
Absolutely.
at this level ready to do this work. So
I love that people, you know, that other people can hear these things and learn from what I'm saying, because that's important. And it's also important that I am speaking to my audience, you know, in doing these, and that I'm not trying to speak to everybody. You were going to ask Cassie something and bring her into this. She's so quiet up there.
It's great listening to Lisa's like thought process behind everything. It's fascinating.
Wait, what's fascinating about it, Cassie?
Well, I've heard a lot about your growth in how you met Benjamin, but to listen to then also you continue the reflection and the inner growth in your business. I haven't heard you talk about that component.
Mhm.
So it just kind of from the outside appears like you just have this business going and it just goes like how it goes and it does what it does. And so to hear the thought process behind it, it's the first time I've heard you talk about that topic.
Yeah, this is a big learning curve for me. Huge.
I think it's been a learning curve for all of us.
All of us.
because I don't think listeners know that like I used to work for Benjamin, which we kind of discussed in a different podcast. And then you guys moved to Santa Fe. Well, pandemic, then Santa Fe. And so then you called me up kind of out of the blue, like almost a year. Was it like a year or like, you know,
nearly a year
ago. And you were kind of in a bind and you needed a new assistant and asked if I would step in. I was like, I mean, I'll try it. And then it was just a wild 2 weeks, like just some of the most mind-blowing shit. And I think I learned like what, 22 new operating systems for how your business works. And you get this thing from over here and then you turn it into this thing over here and you have to post this over here. It was just insane.
Mind-boggling, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I kind of felt like you were sort of learning what your old assistant did while also trying to teach me. And then I think it was right at the 2-week mark where it was like you and I were exactly on that same page where it was like, I don't think this is working for me. And you're like, I don't think this is working.
Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
We were like, this is not going to happen. But it was so, you know what was so cool about that? We like moved through it. Like it was so wild and whatever. And we were both in it. And we were so in it, but it didn't blow our minds, you know? I mean, it was, but we were like there, you know, we were trying to make it work. And then it was so funny, but what I was going to say was, it was so seamless. Like you came in, I don't even know how that happened. Cassie, I came to you and I said, Cassie's going to do the admin. How did we want? But Cassie, how did it happen that you and I decided that you were going to come in? Because you were going to do the
trying to do enrollment calls.
And you said, I can't do this.
I was a teacher first for 20 years. And a year ago, right now, it was January of 2021. I was complaining about teaching because teaching has become an extremely challenging profession.
Crazy, right?
And
I can't even imagine.
Lisa said, you should be a dating coach. And I very sarcastically said, I would be a dating coach for you. And she said, okay. And I was like, what? Like, for real? Really? What?
And then you were training, right? You were like kind of.
So I quit teaching and Lisa was training me to be an enrollment coach. And I was trying and trying and trying and trying. And I just knew in my gut, I didn't have the passion for it. And so I came on and I said, it was our 6th week, the first day of like our 6th or 7th week training. And I said, this isn't working. And just like how Lisa just said, she immediately replied, okay. Like nothing phases her. She goes, okay. And I said, I don't know how things are going with your new operations manager, but that's a job I would love.
You're like, well, let me tell you. And then you took over the operations manager. I was like, great. And then Lisa, you said, I want to start a podcast. I was like, okay, which is so much more in my own wheelhouse.
Yes. Mhm.
because I come from the TV film side of things, that it's just sort
Right.
of like, oh, of course I'm going to
And
be.
Kari Lee, all you ever did when you were folding laundry for Benjamin was listen to podcasts.
Yeah. Yep. I love podcasts. Lisa would be like, what is she listening to? And I'm like, I'm listening to a podcast. It's fine.
It's like murder things.
True crime.
Yes. I'm like, it's so wild.
Lisa would like walk through the dining room and I would just have it and I would like pause it and I would just keep folding and she would walk through and she'd walk back out and I would just hit play again. Like I'm gonna creep her out.
That was so funny, but I couldn't even imagine that people like sit and actually listen to podcasts all the time. I have to tell you the funniest story. One of my former clients, years and years and years ago, I think she was a writer. She wrote chicklet. Do you know what chicklet is? It's literature for chicks, like chicklet.
Oh, chicklet.
Like, yeah, chicklet. Like chick literature. Anyway,
Romance novels for women or about women?
it's like chicklet. I don't know. It's a genre
The genre. Okay.
of literature.
Mhm.
And she was into podcasting. And it was way the heck back when. I mean, so many, like in the beginning of podcasting. And I'm like, you know how all these new things come up and your brain goes, oh, that'll never last. And here I am with the podcast, 50 episodes of a podcast.
They work. People like them.
Is that funny though? I was like, oh, that'll never last. That's going to be a fad.
Well, it's funny because you just said, I can't believe people sit and listen to that. But that's the point. People don't sit and listen to it. People do stuff and listen to it.
They're
Right.
holding.
For driving.
They're
Right.
they're working out. They're driving. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so they can multitask.
Yeah.
It's so wild. But people listening to mine, like the people I've never met who don't know me, like it is really funny. I mean, there's really a part of me that's just over here laughing, going, oh my God, that's great. That people would literally put me on and sit and listen to me talk. I just think that is like the wildest thing in the world.
I know there are some times where you're like, okay, I guess we're doing this. And we've just sort of been like figuring it out as we go. And then Cassie, going back to what we were talking about before when you took over operations manager position, I mean, the amount of stuff, like we would be chatting back and forth because I was actually surprised at how much I retained from those 2 weeks because we would be like helping each other get on the systems and figure out how to send out the thing or like whatever. And then now you're so masterful at it, like just so good at it.
Well, you know what I've become a master of? I've become a master of how to get the 25 different customer service people on the chat the fastest.
Wow.
I don't have to go through the whole automated process.
You know who's working for us again, though, is Gene Sabo. Do you remember Gene?
Oh, yeah. I've been emailing him a bit here and there about the website.
Sweetest thing in the world. Everybody's in love with Gene.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart.
He is.
Yeah, Gene did Benjamin's website, right? And then yeah.
Gene is the cutest thing in the world.
We should say his website name, so if people need a
Oh yeah, what is it?
I think it's Executive Web Design.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the show notes as well.
In Sabo Executive Web Design LLC.
He is the best.
Mhm.
Yeah, he is so sweet.
Yeah.
Cassie, how's it been? So then, wait, you were operations manager and then you started coaching.
Yeah.
Like, how did that even like happen? I don't, because you were like, I'm bored now that I know how to do this.
Were you getting bored?
No way. I have never been.
It was a joke.
There's so much to do.
there's so much to do. I mean,
It is a
Lord.
ton. It is
Yeah.
a ton of stuff. I know it is.
Well, I've just been obsessed with talking dating and relationships my whole life. Like it's all I ever want to learn about, read about, talk about. I drive my girlfriends nuts because I just want to talk about the psychology behind relationships all the time. And so I think what happened was I was operations, but I just would help all the women in Lisa's course as much as I could. And correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa, but I think she just started to get some positive feedback about the women learning from, I'm not the same as Lisa. I'm not trying to say I'm like anywhere near holding a candle to Lisa's level, but I took the course. And so there's just like a component of like little tips and tricks I taught myself that I would tell the women, and then they would mention to Lisa on a group call, Cassie told me this and Cassie told me that. And so Lisa
And you
said,
did the original course, the 13-week course, Emotionally Naked Dating, and then you did the mastermind course, which is like a year, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow.
So I was technically a student of Lisa's for like a year and a half, which is the length of time my master's degree was for teaching. So it's kind of like I have an undergrad and a graduate degree in Lisa Shield.
Well, I love her. I just love her. And I feel so lucky that Cassie's here. I mean, I love you too. I feel so lucky you're here.
We all love each other.
Honestly,
Yeah.
We do.
it
We
is
love each
so
other.
wonderful to work with women like you. I mean, it is my greatest honor, really, to be on a team and to be creating with people I love and trust and admire and respect. I have so much respect for both of you.
Oh,
Yeah.
that means a lot. Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Well, it means a lot to have you, to have you guys as part of my team. I mean, that's such a gift.
Yeah, we got to do like a retreat.
That's what my friends who have actual like these big businesses and all, I mean, they have team, retreats and stuff. They all get together and I'm really
and Brittany, that would be so fun. That would be so fun.
Yeah, because I haven't met you in person and I haven't met Brittany in person. So it would just be like,
Rita.
Oh, I haven't met Rita either.
But see, here's the deal. Here's a little secret. Most of my other friends understand how to build teams and how to coordinate a business and connect all the dots. I have never been in the corporate world. I've never experienced business structure from the inside. So there's a lot of things like building a team that I didn't even understand how to do it, why to do it. I mean, I just thought I need some coaches. So I got Rita and Victoria and they were just over here, but I never connected all the pieces of my team together. And I never even conceived of how to do it. So I'm just thinking about that now, to actually have, a team structure where all the parts are really functioning towards the whole. That's really where the team comes in. That I haven't done yet in my business, but it's something that would be kind of cool to do. Bring you guys all together and also not use you, but you know what I mean? Have you utilize your, have you all being contributing to the vision of the business, from each of your perspectives. That's something I haven't really tapped into.
Seems like it's starting. I mean, because you kind of don't have time to micromanage us. So we're just trying to figure things out on our own. And I know Cassie and I have talked a lot about like, we just have to find the best way that we can do what we need to do for you and your business, the best way we can do it. So like bringing ourselves into it, it's been pretty cool.
Good. I'm glad that's working. But there is a whole, way of bringing the organization more together. So I just haven't done it. Who knows if I will?
Hey, a couple more questions. Do you see the dating world going in, like, is it trending toward a certain direction?
Great question. Great
Yeah.
question.
Do either of you see that?
It's gone way towards online, like Zoom calls and online. I mean, that swung way out in the beginning of the pandemic, especially. That was almost all anybody was doing. Now it's swung, the pendulum has come back a bit, but I still think it's mostly, people are meeting online and doing that. Don't you, Cassie?
Yeah, I do feel like people's focus, it's almost like when they're out and about, the idea of meeting someone in real life has just completely like, it's not even in their field. Men have become afraid to hit on women because they don't want to offend them. And masks make it very difficult because you can't smile. And I do focus a lot of time on the coaching calls saying, remember, it can just take a wink. Or I was just joking with my roommate, I was watching Yellowstone. And so tonight we're going line dancing. And I said, if I see a cute guy, I'm smacking him on the butt and I'm going to meet him in real life. I'm just going to go for it.
You're gonna smack some guy on the butt tonight?
I will if he's cute. Why not?
What if he turns around and he says, I didn't consent to that?
Then
What's your
I'd
name,
say,
Cassie?
well, what do I need to do to get your consent?
That's a good comeback. That's a good comeback. Oh my gosh, you're adorable. Yeah.
Yeah, full of tips and tricks.
Yeah. It is really weird, like with the masks and stuff. I mean, I even find like when I'm been married a long time, but when I go to the store or anything, I've even caught myself not being as friendly or like I'm not as myself, like bringing myself, just moving through the world because I have this mask on and it's almost like you're just sort of turned off like a weird robot person.
True.
It's so hard.
Masks are weird. It's such a strange thing to have to walk around in society with them on. Like it's so separating.
I suppose it's good for the eye game if you're going to play up your eyes.
Wait, you have gorgeous eyes. You would know how to play the eye game. Oh my
like
goodness.
Just wide-eyed and like
googly eye. Oh my God, I never saw you do that before.
Don't you think that's sexy?
Oh my God, seriously.
Anyway, I think we have to wrap up, but I'm so glad we got to spend a little time together. My face hurts from just smiling at you both. I just love seeing you guys.
This is great.
Oh, this was wonderful. Really wonderful. We have to do it again.
We do.
I don't know if the audience liked it, but we did. So
They heard some behind the scenes.
It will.
It's behind the scenes.
I had one more quick question. Have you found that your relationship with Benjamin, are your conversations getting even deeper, or are you guys finding that this quality time that you spend together just really sets your week off well?
Gosh, it's such a funny thing. The conversations are getting better because Benjamin's getting more at ease in front of the mic and stuff, and he's opening up more and he's feeling more confident. So he's doing great. And, he's losing himself at times and able to just connect. And some of our conversations, I think, are very beautiful.
You guys are just really bantering back and forth now. And it's been such a journey, like hearing it,
Oh, that's really sweet. And, it doesn't change our relationship with each other at all. I mean, we just want to do stuff together, that feels good to us. And that feels good. It's just another wonderful way for us to spend our time doing something valuable and that's rewarding for us as well as for people listening. So it's a win-win for us, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Cassie, go find a cowboy tonight, I guess.
I'll give you the update on Monday.
I want to report.
I do too.
I can't wait to hear. All right. This has been so much fun.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
Love you guys.
Love you too. Bye.